Kehoe, Lamalfa, Leno, Ted Lieu, Carol Lieu, Lowenthal, Negrete McLeod, Padilla, Pavley, Price, Rubio, Runner, Semidian, Steinberg, Strickland, Vargas, Walters, Wolk, Wright, Wyland, Yee.
All the absent members. All senators, please report to the Senate floor. Yeah, we just... A quorum is present. Will the members and our guests beyond the rail and in the gallery please rise? We will be led in prayer this afternoon by our guest chaplain, the Reverend Dexter McNamara from the Partners in Care, after which please remain standing. We will be led in the Pledge of Allegiance by Senator Leno.
Good afternoon. Welcome back to a pleasant summer day in Sacramento. Amen to that, huh? William Least-Heat Moon wrote, "Most of the time it's too late to turn back. Once we understand, we should turn back." Please pray with me. Loving God, may we earnestly endeavor to have strength and resolve, but also to have wisdom and prudence. May we not allow our strength to keep us from seeking solutions, and may we not allow our resolve to keep us from seeking resolution. May we have the wisdom to realize that our way is not the only right way, and may we have the prudence to listen with open minds and hearts to others' ideas and approaches. Amidst the clamor of competing voices urging us this way or that, let us heed the prophet Micah's message that what you desire from us is that we do justice and love mercy and walk humbly with God. Now may the good women and men of this Senate be reminded that they are servants, here to serve the needs of all the people of California, here to work together to help build a good and just and thriving and vibrant state. I pray that they now go about that task with energy and imagination and compassion, for it is in your spirit of hope that I pray. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Privilege of the floor, members. Senator Harman at Senator Steinberg's desk.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Mr. President and members, please welcome and recognize Alan and Lori McLean, who are the owners and operators of Sir Speedy Printing in Los Alamitos. They're the recipients of the California Small Business Award from the 35th Senate District, which, of course, is my district. Alan and Lori McLean opened their business in Los Alamitos quite a few years ago, back in 1983. The community has been very supportive of their business, and now they are in a position to give back to the community. Near and dear to their hearts are causes for children, including the Precious Life Foundation, which provides shelter for homeless pregnant women. Another charity they support is the CASA Youth Shelter, a safe haven for runaway youth. The various contributions of time, energy, and resources from Sir Speedy Printing to the Los Alamitos, Rossmore, and Cypress communities are second to none. Mr. and Mrs. McLean, through their business endeavors at Sir Speedy Printing, allow them to support the many local community programs, some of which I just mentioned. Alan is a member of the Seal Beach Los Alamitos Rotary Club. He served as the president of that club from 2008-2009 and was recognized recently as a Paul Harris Fellow, the highest award that Rotary clubs can give to an individual. Alan and Lori were named Citizens of the Year by the Cypress College Foundation in 2008. In 2006, the McLeans received an award from Sir Speedy, recognizing the Los Alamitos location, of which they are the owners, as one of the top grossing Sir Speedy franchises in the country. Members, please join me in welcoming Mr. and Mrs. McLean to the State Senate, and I have a resolution to present to them.
Thank you and congratulations to our guests. Senator Alquist.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would like to introduce 3 high school interns from my San Jose office. They will be with me through the summer and are participants in an excellent Silicon Valley program, Vision New America. They are Sarang Shankar, who is in 11th grade, Charlotte Chang, who is in 10th grade, and Yuna Lee, who is in 9th grade. And joining them is the famous Arkady Kolchak, one of my district representatives, who started as an intern in my San Jose office back in 2006. Please join me in welcoming them.
Messages from the governor will be deemed read. Messages from the assembly will be deemed read. Committee reports will be deemed read and amendments adopted. Motions, resolutions, and notices. Without objection, Senate Rule 55 will be suspended for the Kevin Riggs presentation. Pursuant to Senate Rule 2910, the following bills are referred to the Rules Committee. Item 1, Senate Bill 116. Without objection, pursuant to Joint Rule 33.1, Joint Rule 10.5 will be suspended for Assembly Bills 108. There are floor amendments at the desk, and they will be deemed adopted. Recognize Senator Leno.
Thank you, Mr. President. I do have a bill to present, but I'm going to wait a few moments until we actually have members on the floor who can vote for it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Senator McLeod. Consideration of the daily file. Yeah. Okay.
Hello. Oh.
Secretary, read this.
I would like to take up item 92.
Hold on, Senator, please. Okay. Secretary, please read the second reading.
Senate Bill 116 with amendments. Assembly Bill 485, 1086, 1090, 188, 946, 1266, 581 with amendments, 1297 with amendments, 1245 with amendments, 215, 712 with amendments, 54 with amendments, 1344 with amendments.
Second reading deemed read. Thank you. Senator McLeod.
Yes, I'd like to take up item 92, AB 340.
Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 340 by Assemblymember Furutani and Ackley County Employees Retirement.
Thank you, Mr. President and Senators. California's public pension systems were established to provide retirement security for those who give their lives to public service. Recently, the benefits provided by those systems have been tainted by a few individuals who have taken advantage of the system. This is in part due to the 37 Act's very broad and general definition of compensation earnable, the amount in which a member's pension is calculated. In these counties, some of the public employees have taken advantage of this situation to include items in their compensation that spiked their final compensation to create vastly increased pension checks for themselves. Additionally, the practice of having someone retire on Friday and come back to work on Monday and being able to collect a full retirement along with a full paycheck is something the public simply will not tolerate any longer. Allowing this double dipping to continue only adds to the growing public concern over pensions being received by public employees. AB 340 will address these abusive pension spiking practices and put an end to the double dipping. This bill has received broad bipartisan support passed out of the Assembly, and I respectfully ask for your aye vote on the measure.
Any debate or discussion? Senator Walk? Debate or discussion? Okay. Debate or discussion? Secretary, call the roll.
Alquist? Aye. Anderson? Aye. Berryhill? Aye. Blakesley? Aye. Calderon? Canella? Aye. Corbett? Correa? Aye. De Leon? DeSaulnier? Aye. Dutton? Aye. Emerson? Aye. Evans? Aye. Fuller? Aye. Gaines? Aye. Hancock? Harmon? Aye. Hernandez? Aye. Huff? Aye. Kehoe? Aye. LaMalfa? Aye. Leno? Aye. Ted Lieu? Aye. Carol Lieu? Aye. Lowenthal? Aye. Negrete McLeod? Aye. Padilla? Aye. Pavley? Price?
Aye.
Aye. Rubio? Aye. Runner? Aye. Semidian? Aye. Steinberg? Aye. Strickland? Aye. Vargas? Aye. Walters? Aye. Wolk? Aye. Wright? Aye. Wyland? Aye. Yee? Yee, aye.
Ayes 35, no 0. That measure is adopted. Senator Yee, at Senator Steinberg's desk.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Senators, it's really my distinct honor to introduce the organization called Neighborhood Markets Association. It is a nonprofit organization dedicated to empowering independent retailers throughout California, Nevada, Arizona, and the West Coast. In addition to providing representation, education, leadership, community outreach, and buying power for their member stores, NMA also supports prosperity within neighborhoods that they serve. These independent and often family-owned retailers are the cornerstone of the entrepreneurial spirit within our community here and a tremendous boost to our economy. They epitomize the American dream. Today, I'm proud to welcome the president of the organization, Mark Rabo, and then the chair of their board, Rasmis Murad, vice chair Aman Atisha, and the board member, Prasad Balo, and many other members. When I was a young boy, my father owned a grocery store, and because of his hard work and all of us working together, we were able to follow that American dream. The margins are very, very short. The hours are very, very long, but this is a way for all of us to provide a better life for our children. All of these individuals are part of that American dream. They came here with very little, and now they've been able to provide a better life for their children and for their community. Senators, please welcome members of the Neighborhood Market Association. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Yee. And welcome to our visitors. Senator Evans.
Thank you. Presentation of AJR 11, item 133.
Secretary, please read.
Assembly Joint Resolution 11 by Assemblymember Chesbro relative to California wines.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Members, AJR 11 expresses the California Legislature's opposition to H.R. 1161, also known as the Comprehensive Alcohol Regulatory Effectiveness Act. Unfortunately, this act would interfere with the direct shipment of wine to out-of-state consumers, and this would severely limit consumer choice of California wine throughout the nation, and it would threaten market access for California wineries that cannot secure wholesale distribution. Many of our California wineries, in order to reach consumers in other states, use direct marketing and shipping of their wines throughout the country. And California is one of 37 states, including the District of Columbia, that allow direct shipping of wine from wine growers to consumers, and this legislation would interfere with their ability to do that. AJR 11 is jointly sponsored by the Family Winemakers, the Wine Institute, and the California Association of Wine Grape Growers. There is no opposition to the bill, and I'd ask for an aye vote.
Any debate or discussion? Secretary, call the roll.
Alquist. Aye. Anderson.
Excuse. Senator Berryhill. Excuse me, Senator Berryhill.
Last time I checked. Yeah, members, I just wanted to make a comment. I certainly rise in support of this bill. California's wine industry is diverse as a landscape and the people that make the wine. There's also a significant part of the state's economy with an impact of over $55 billion, according to recent estimates. California ranks first among wine production with almost 92% of all domestic wine being produced in California. Current reports indicate that over 515,000 acres of wine grapes are being grown here in California today. The latest harvest in 2007 was over 3 million tons. California wineries members pay over $21 million in excise taxes. The industry generates over $2 billion in tax revenue for the state and local governments. California ranks first in wine consumption among states. The Berryhill family alone helps that along. Each year's harvest is different and sales expand or contract. One measure of how the wine industry is doing is a Great Gallup poll that revealed wine.
Members, please, your attention.
Thank you. Has supplemented beer and spirits as the leading alcoholic drink in the state. I urge an aye vote. Thank you.
Any more debate or discussion? Any debate or discussion? Secretary, please call the roll again.
Alquist. Aye. Anderson. Aye. Berryhill. Aye. Blakesley. Aye. Calderon. Canella. Aye. Corbett. Correa. Aye. De Leon. DeSaulnier. Aye. Dutton. Aye. Emerson. Aye. Evans. Aye. Fuller. Aye. Gaines. Aye. Hancock. Aye. Harmon. Aye. Hernandez. Aye. Huff. Aye. Kehoe. Aye. LaMalfa. Aye. Leno. Aye. Ted Lieu. Aye. Carol Lieu. Aye. Lowenthal. Aye. Negrete McLeod. Aye. Padilla. Aye. Pavley. Price.
Aye.
Aye. Rubio. Aye. Runner. Smidian. Aye. Steinberg. Aye. Strickland. Aye. Vargas. Aye. Walters. Aye. Wolk. Aye. Wright. Aye. Wyland. Aye. Yee. Yee aye. Runner aye. That's it.
Ayes 36, no zeros. That resolution is adopted. Senator Fuller.
I rise to take up item 136, ACR 64.
Secretary, please read.
Assembly Concurrent Resolution 64 by Assemblymember Valadao relative to June Dairy Month in California.
Mr. Chairman and members, ACR 64 is a resolution by Assemblyman Valadao that declares June as Dairy Month in California. June Dairy Month was originally known as National Milk Month and has been an annual tradition since 1937. California produces 21% of the nation's milk supply and continues to be the leading state in agricultural production for over 50 years, with milk and cream contributing to $5.9 billion to our economy in 2010. With only 30% of Americans meeting their recommended intake of calcium, ACR 64 encourages Californians to include dairy as a part of a healthy diet. Dairy foods play an important role in helping reduce osteoporosis, hypertension, obesity, colon cancer, heart disease, and type 2 diabetes. Milk is also the #1 source of potassium, phosphorus, and vitamin D in the American diet. This resolution is a great opportunity for Californians to honor the work of dairy producers in California and to support the American dairy industry by recognizing the importance of dairy products to our economy and as part of a healthy diet. I ask for your aye vote.
Any discussion or debate? Any objection with using the previous unanimous roll call? Seeing none, ayes 36, noes 0. That resolution is adopted. Senator Emerson.
Mr. President, I'd like to bring up file item 75.
Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 61 by Assemblymember Jeffries, enacting to neighborhood electric vehicles.
Thank you, Mr. President and members. Assembly Bill 61 will authorize the County of Riverside and its cities to implement neighborhood electric vehicle transportation plans. Since 1999, existing laws allowed for the use of neighborhood electric vehicles, or NEVs, on selected roads, specifically on roads with speed limits of 35 miles per hour and under. NEVs provide energy-efficient travel and are ideal for trips of up to 10 miles or less. AB 61 will provide the County of Riverside and its cities local control to ensure that their residents have the ability to best utilize this growing technology while ensuring safety. This bill is sponsored by the Western Riverside Council of Governments and is supported by the South Coast Air Quality Management District and 7 cities from Riverside County. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you. Any debate or discussion? Secretary, please call the roll.
Alquist. Aye. Anderson. Aye. Berryhill. Aye. Blakesley. Aye. Calderon. Canella. Aye. Corbett. Correa. Aye. De Leon. DeSaulnier. Aye. Dutton. Aye. Emerson. Aye. Evans. Aye. Fuller. Aye. Gaines. Aye. Hancock. Harmon. Aye. Hernandez. Aye. Huff. Aye. Kehoe. Aye. LaMalfa. Aye. Leno. Aye. Ted Lieu. Aye. Carolou. Aye. Lowenthal. Aye. Negrete McLeod. Aye. Padilla. Aye. Pavley. Price.
Aye.
Aye. Rubio. Aye. Runner. Aye. Semidian. Aye. Steinberg. Aye. Strickland. Aye. Vargas. Aye. Walters. Aye. Wolk. Aye. Wright. Aye. Wyland. Aye. Yee. Yee. Aye.
Call the absentees.
Calderon. Corbett. De Leon. Hancock. Aye. Pavlik.
Ayes 36, noes 0. That bill is passed. Senator Correa.
Thank you, sir. I'd like to take up 2 items.
Secretary, yes, you may. Which?
Senate Bill 203, item number 28.
Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 203 by Senator Correa, an act relating to county retirement.
The amendments in the Assembly make minor technical changes, correcting a drafting error in this concurrent item. The bill requires the Board of Supervisors in the 1937 Act counties to hold elections at the earliest possible date to fill vacancies among the 4 members representing system participants on either the boards of retirement or boards of investments. There's no opposition and counties have no problems with this measure. I ask your vote in concurrence.
Any debate or discussion? Any debate or discussion? Secretary, please call the roll.
Alquist. Aye. Anderson. Aye. Berryhill. Aye. Blakesley. Calderon. Canella. No. Corbett. Correa.
Aye.
Aye. De Leon. DeSaulnier. Aye. Dutton. Emerson. Aye. Evans. Aye. Fuller. Aye. Gaines. Aye. Hancock. Aye. Harmon. Aye. Hernandez. Aye. Huff. No. Kehoe. I. Lamalfa. No. Leno. I. Ted Lieu. I. Carol Lieu. I. Lowenthal. I. Negrete McLeod. I. Padilla. I. Pavley. Price.
Aye.
I. Rubio. I. Runner. No. Semidian. I. Steinberg. I. Strickland. No. Vargas. I. Walters. I. Wolk. I. Wright. I. Wyland. I. Yee. Yee. I. Blakesley. I. Dutton. I.
Ayes 31, noes 5. The Assembly amendments are concurred with. Senator Correa, one other item.
Item number 62, AB 413.
Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 413 by Assemblymember Yamada, enacting to elections.
Thank you, Mr. President and members. This bill will allow Yolo County conduct up to 3 local all-vote-by-mail elections subject to prescribed conditions to determine their effect on voters who traditionally vote at the polls. Ask for an aye vote.
Any debate or discussion? Any objection with using the previous unanimous roll call? There is objection. Secretary, please read. Please call the roll.
Alquist. I. Anderson. No. Berryhill. I. Blakesley. Calderon. Canella. No. Corbett. Correa. I. De Leon. DeSaulnier. I. Dutton. Emerson. Evans. I. Fuller. No. Gaines. I. Hancock. I. Harmon. Hernandez. I. Huff. I. Kehoe. I. Lamalfa. I. Leno. I. Ted Lieu. Carol Lieu. I. Lowenthal. I. Negrete McLeod. I. Padilla. I. Pavley. Price.
Aye.
I. Rubio. I. Runner. No. Semidian. I. Steinberg. I. Strickland. Vargas. I. Walters. No. Wolk. I. Wright. I. Wyland. No. Yee. Yee. I. Strickland. No. Blakesley. No. Dutton. No. Harmon. No.
Call the absent members.
Calderon. Corbett. De Leon. Emerson. Ted Lieu. I. Pavley.
Ayes 25, noes 10. That measure is adopted. Senator Wolk.
File item 105, please.
Assembly Bill 902 by Assemblymember Alejo, enacting to taxation.
I'm sorry, that's the wrong bill. Put it down to pass for the moment.
Okay, pass. Senator Hernandez.
File item number 114, AB 619, Halderman.
Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 619 by Assemblymember Halderman, enacting to massage therapy.
Thank you very much. This bill is a technical bill regarding certified massage therapists. Over 40,000 massage professionals practice in California. Some are independent practitioners, while many are employees of spas and chiropractors. The changes we are making with AB 619 include technical changes such as changing all reference to the organization to the California Massage Therapy Council, since the organization now has been created and named. The bill also includes a requirement that certified massage professionals use their name and certification number in advertising. The bill has no opposition. It's sponsored by the American Massage Therapy Association, California chapter, and supported by both the California Police Chiefs Association and the Associated Body Works and massage professionals. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Debate or discussion? Secretary, please call the roll.
Alquist. I. Anderson. I. Berryhill. I. Blakesley. I. Calderon. Canella. I. Corbett. Correa. I. De Leon. DeSaulnier. I. Dutton. Emerson. I. Evans. I. Fuller. I. Gaines. I. Hancock. I. Harmon. I. Hernandez. I. Huff. I. Kehoe. I. LaMalfa. I. Leno. I. Ted Lieu. I. Carol Lieu. I. Lowenthal. I. Negrete McLeod. I. Padilla. I. Pavley. Price.
Aye.
I. Rubio. I. Runner. I. Semidian. I. Steinberg. I. Strickland. I. Vargas. I. Walters. I. Wolk. Wright. I. Wyland. I. Yee. Yee, aye.
Call the absence. Members.
Calderon. Corbett. De Leon. Dutton. Pavley. Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Ayes 35, noes 0. That measure passes. Return to Senator Walk.
Thank you. Final item 104.
Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 820 by Assemblymember Gordon, enacting to taxation.
AB 820 allows a local assessor, tax collector, and auditor to charge for the actual costs incurred in the preparation of a tax certificate of payment rather than only $1 as the current state law allows. The bill removes the dollar cap, which has been in place since 1947, and allows a fee to be charged to cover the actual costs incurred, according to the law that currently exists, by which fees can be raised at the local level to meet the service requirements. I ask for your aye vote.
Yes. Any debate or discussion? Secretary, please call the roll.
Alquist. Aye. Anderson. Berryhill. No. Blakesley. Calderon. Canella. Corbett. Correa. De Leon. DeSaulnier. Aye. Dutton. No. Emerson. Evans. Aye. Fuller. No. Gaines. No. Hancock. Aye. Harmon. No. Hernandez. Aye. Huff. No. Kehoe. Aye. LaMalfa. No. Leno. Aye. Ted Lieu. Aye. Carol Lieu. Aye. Lowenthal. Aye. Negrete McLeod. Padilla. Aye. Pavley. Price.
Aye.
Aye. Rubio. Aye. Runner. No. Semidian. Steinberg. Aye. Strickland. No. Vargas. Aye. Walters. No. Wolk. Aye. Wright. Aye. Wyland. No. Yee. Yee, aye. Wyland, we have as no. Okay. Anderson, no.
Call the absent members.
Blakesley, no. Calderon, Canella, Corbett, Correa, no. De Leon, aye. Emerson, no. Negrete McLeod, Pavley, Semidian. Semidian, aye.
Call the absent members.
Calderon, Canella, no. Corbett, Negrete McLeod, Pavley.
Call the absentees.
Calderon, Corbett, Negrete McLeod, Pavley.
Senator Wilk moves the call. Senator Carol Lieu, are you ready?
Yes, thank
Secretary,
you very much.
Please.
First of all, motions and resolutions.
Okay.
At the request of the author, I'd like to remove file item 157. It's Skinner, AB 568 from special consent.
Without objection.
And then I have third reading file. I have 4 items. The first one is item 25 for concurrence.
Secretary, please read.
Senate Joint Resolution 1 by Senator Liu relative to the Federal Mural Act.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, I ask for your aye vote on concurrence on SJR 1. This measure congratulates the President, Congress, and the citizens of California on the upcoming 150th anniversary of the passage of the Morrill Act. In 1862, in the midst of the Civil War, President Abraham Lincoln signed this act. This legislation created land-grant universities and provided states with incentives to build a system of higher education opportunities. The resolution is back on concurrence because co-authors were added in the Assembly, and the amendment clarified that the resolution memorializes Congress and the President to renew their commitment to accessible higher education. The sponsor is the University of California, and I ask for your vote on concurrence.
Thank you. Any debate or discussion? Madam, Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Alquist. Aye. Anderson. Berryhill. Aye. Blakesley. Aye. Calderon. Canella. Aye. Corbett. Correa. Aye. De Leon. Aye. DeSaulnier. Aye. Dutton. Aye. Emerson. Aye. Evans. Aye. Fuller. Aye. Gaines. Aye. Hancock. Aye. Harmon. Aye. Hernandez. Aye. Huff. Aye. Kehoe. Aye. LaMalfa. Aye. Leno. Aye. Ted Lieu. Aye. Carol Lieu.
Aye.
Aye. Lowenthal. Aye. Negrete McLeod. Aye. Padilla. Aye. Papley. Price. Aye. Rubio. Aye. Runner. Aye. Semidian. Aye. Steinberg. Aye. Strickland. Aye. Vargas. Aye. Walters. Aye. Wolk. Aye. Wright. Aye. Wyland. Aye. Yee. Yee. Aye. Anderson. Aye.
Ayes 37, no 0. The resolution is adopted. We will go back to the pro tem. Motions and resolutions.
Under motions and resolutions. Thank you. Hate to interrupt the flow here, but we've got some good people waiting, and it is my honor to present a resolution here and a thank you to Kevin Riggs. Now, I use the term California television political journalist. You have to stop and think, because in this era, there aren't that many people that fit that description. But Kevin Riggs fit that description for many, many years here in Sacramento, and we want to honor him. He began as a radio reporter in Santa Barbara, and he was bitten by the political bug covering then President Ronald Reagan on his frequent visits to the ranch in Santa Barbara. In 1994, he came to Sacramento station KCRA, and we're very happy to be joined by the news director, Anzio Williams, as well here today. Welcome. And for 17 years, Kevin has been a force here in the Capitol. He has demonstrated a consistent, unwavering commitment to reporting on state government in a meaningful way. And again, not easy to do in this era of crime and punishment and the kinds of things that, frankly, people want to see when they watch their news. But he maintained this commitment to covering state politics and helping the public understand what we are doing. He gained the respect of members in both houses on both sides of the aisle for his fair-handed coverage, his challenging interviews, and his political and governmental acumen. And maybe as important, he gained the respect of his journalistic colleagues. He solidified a reputation over the years as a rock-solid political reporter, not only for his extensive knowledge and his professionalism, but his graciousness and his good humor. He won numerous awards, including the Edward R. Murrow Award, and is a multiple winner of the California Journalism Award for exemplary coverage of state government and politics. Kevin left political journalism, at least from the news side, about a month or month and a half ago, and has gone into private practice, doing political and community and public relations work. And we know he'll be a great success in that endeavor as well. But for 17 years of covering this Capitol, we wanted to bestow upon you a small token of the appreciation, not just of us, but the people of California. We still can afford resolutions, by the way. And that's a good thing. I won't read it all, except to say to Kevin and his wife, Karen, thank you so much, man, for doing a great job. Thank you for knowing the way to my house so that I didn't have to always come into the Capitol to do an interview on a weekend. And we wish you all the very best.
Okay, members, we're going to lift the call on item 104. Secretary, please call the roll.
Calderon, Corbett, Negrete McLeod, Pavley.
Call the roll.
Calderon, Corbett, Negrete McLeod, Pavley.
Ayes 20, noes 16. Measure fails. Without objection, reconsideration is granted. Ayes 37, noes 0. Members, we're moving to the consent calendar. Secretary, please read.
Senate Concurrent Resolution 20, Senate Bill 426, 424, 926, 220, 430, 713, 806, 1357, 384, 55, AB 193, 209, 364, 390, 606, 690, 956, 1013, 1091, 1180, 1272, 1395, 561, 316, 201, and Assembly Bill 470.
Senator Wright, you are recognized.
Mr. President, I'd like to remove file item 165, AB 1180, from the consent calendar at the request of the author, Assemblyman Bradford. Again, file item 165, AB 1180. Remove that from the consent calendar.
Okay, that's item 164. Without
165.
I'm told it's 164.
It is 164? Okay, I have a dyslexic person in my office, but I'll take your word.
Members, on the consent calendar, Secretary, please call the roll. On the consent calendar.
Alquist, I. Anderson, I. Berryhill, I. Blakesley, I. Calderon, Canella, I. Corbett, Correa, De Leon, I. DeSaulnier, I. Dutton, I. Emerson, I. Evans, I. Fuller, I. Gaines, Hancock, I. Harmon, I. Hernandez, I. Huff, I. Kehoe, I. LaMalfa, I. Leno, I. Ted Lieu, I. Carol Lieu, I. Lowenthal, I. Negrete McLeod, I. Padilla, I. Pavley, Price,
Aye.
I. Rubio, I. Runner, I. Semidian, Steinberg, I. Strickland, I. Vargas, I. Walters, I. Wolk, I. Wright, I. Wyland. I. Yee. Yee, I. Correa, I. Samidian, I. Gaines, I.
Ayes 37, noes 0. That same calendar is adopted. Senator Steinberg, the desk is clear.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Appropriations Committee, I know, will resume after session. We will have session at 9 o'clock on Thursday, and members, I'd expect a couple of hours of work on the floor so that we can clear the file before we head on, yes, a summer recess. Thank you. See you Thursday.
The Senate will be in recess until 3:30, at which time the adjournment motion will be made. We will reconvene on Thursday at 9 a.m., members.